All right. Logan, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tears of the Realms. Yes, this is our homebrewed Cypher System powered Zelda themed RPG set in our kind of weird version of the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom flavor of Hyrule. And the people below me are all really cool people that decided to come today and play and have fun. Also, we have a celebrity, so that's nice.
I don't know what you're
Uh,
talking about.
we officially want to thank the extremely
I
famous
also don't know
Lex
what he's talking
Rosenberg
about. Oh.
for taking
What?
time out of his busy schedule
What?
to grace us with his presence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Announcements. If you are in the Bay Area, which apparently doesn't include Green Bay, I don't know how you can have a Bay Area where the city named after the bay that it's on is not a part of it.
Hey, Jody, can I submit the idea that there can be multiple Bay Areas in the world?
However, there's only one that matters.
And it's not the one in California.
So anyway, Lex is currently in his third week of portraying Bert in Mary Poppins the Musical, somewhere in San Francisco. San Francisco is a small place, so if you just walk around, you'll obviously be able to find it.
It is not in San Francisco.
It is.
Is it not?
No, it is in the South Bay. So if you
South
happen
Bay,
to be
okay.
closer to
Explain it to
Me.
people who don't know what's going on there.
San Jose has a bigger population than San Francisco, and no one knows that it exists. It's 40 minutes driving south of San Francisco.
Thank you,
but it's not
Ilea.
as cool.
No, it's not as
It
expensive.
may be
There's a
bigger
difference.
and
Uh,
farther south, but it's
precisely.
not the city.
I'm so sorry, Jody. San Jose actually is more expensive.
Are you kidding? I didn't think anywhere was more expensive than San Francisco.
San
Oh,
Jose.
there are
Diego?
plenty of places.
San Diego is
But-
one of the top 10 most expensive cities to live in the US.
There's
Yes.
at least
So is
two
San
of the 10
Francisco.
There are a couple
No, I
more
think
in the
San
Bay
Diego
Area.
beats it.
There are
So,
a couple more in the
guys-
Bay Area that are more expensive than that too.
San Jose is the most expensive for housing/rent in the world.
Wow, that's
So-
impressive.
Welcome to my hometown.
How much is rent there?
A lot.
Oh, it's insane.
You actually don't pay in dollar amounts.
You pay in blood.
You pay in
Bone marrow.
limbs and sacrifices.
Yeah, if you go to the
The city is run by
subreddits,
Cthulhu.
the most common post in the subreddit for San Jose is like, how do people afford to live here? So, yay.
I think people just really undervalue the actual value of an immortal soul, which is the going currency in San Jose.
No, I sold mine to marching band years ago.
I sold mine to musical theater.
No, literally, our contracts for doing marching band in college were called blood letters because he didn't care what you signed it with, including blood, as long as you signed it. And I think he traded our souls with the devil for good weather on marching band days. So
Have you ever marched?
I mean, worth it though.
Have you ever done a field show in the rain? Because that is an incredible experience.
the rain waited until we were in the stands for the second half, and then it was raining, and we decided to play Light My Fire by the Doors, and so then it came down harder, and the saxophones had to run for cover. This was also in the days when we had wool uniforms, so that was not fun.
Wool reacts super, super well to water, and it adds like 400 pounds. We had just wool berets, and if they got wet, they went from, oh, this is kind of a floppy hat, to, hi, have you met my bulletproof lead-lined cap?
Yeah, college marching band was sad for me because the year before I joined, the football team made it to a bowl game, which meant the marching band got to go to a bowl game. And the year after I left, they got new uniforms that weren't wool, and they went to a bowl game. The entire time I was there, no bowl game. But anyway, everyone should go see Lex in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
because everyone's telling me how amazing they are in it, and I'm seeing it tonight.
So yeah, cool
Woo!
stuff going on with Lex. As far as other announcements, do we have anything from ZZU going on right now? I love every time I answer
Elias?
that, ask that question, I just get
What-
absolute dead
what-
air for about 10 seconds.
I haven't existed aside from Mary Poppins.
Especially because we know that question is coming every single week.
I actually forget that is coming.
It's too
I-
early. It's too early.
I
That's what it is.
haven't existed in like 8 weeks.
I
I
woke
think
up
you-
I thought
16
you were going to
minutes
say
ago.
8 years. Sorry.
Jody, I think you need to ask that question after the show. That way, Elias's brain has some time to wake up instead of like right when we start.
No, he needs to ask it around Fridays at 7 p.m.
And then remember
Um,
the answer for the next day.
Well,
We used to
I
we
didn't
used to
say
have
I'll
a
it- I'll have it
Google
ready for the
Doc
show, but
that we would use to tell me the announcements, and I would open it up every week, and then after a while, like the announcements didn't change for like 2 months, and I'm like, should I really be doing this anymore? It's like, yeah, we don't use it anymore. Okay.
it's because I would have to maintain it, and it was
Yeah.
difficult.
So lots of really amazing stuff happening at Zelda Universe.
Yup.
Check our website, zeldauniverse.net, if you want actual things happening. Other announcements in the tabletop RPG space. There is a system called 13th Age that I'm a huge fan of. They are currently running a Kickstarter for another few days for a second edition of 13th Age. So if you're interested in 13th Age, is effectively they took all the awesome stuff from 4th edition and then took some of the good stuff from 3rd edition and shoved them together into a really awesome game. So if you are interested in any of those things, it's cool. I actually did a series on my YouTube channel where talked about 13th Age, built a bunch of 13th Age characters, and it was super fun. So that's going on right now.
Kids on Capes also has a Kickstarter going from the lovely people at Hunters Entertainment. So if you like Kids on Bikes, which you should because
preface
it's
this,
great.
Kids on Bikes is a tabletop RPG. We're not asking if you actually enjoy like impaling children on bikes or anything like that. Like that's not what it is. It's actually a
What?
very cool RPG.
I like
system.
how it went from just kids on bikes to impaling
How did
kids
you
on
get
bikes,
there?
not like
Yeah.
watching
Where's
kids
your
on
head
bikes.
at?
Jody
What are you
went
planning for us?
very.
Jody went to a
Like,
different place that I wasn't
Not just for
prepared
those who enjoy like kids BMX. No, for those who enjoy impaling them.
And you wonder why you keep getting cast as a villain.
with.
I stopped wondering that years ago.
But yeah, Kids on Bikes is a very good RPG system. Hype RPG used it for Kolok. Dimension 20 used it for Mentopolis. It's very fun. So if you like that stuff, go
Yeah.
back it.
They also have a system called Kids on Brooms, which is like Harry Potter version of Kids on Bikes. And now Kids with Capes or Kids? It's superhero version.
Sorry. So
Yeah.
if you'd like to see kids impaling themselves,
Dang.
Quick, someone put up a Rorschach ink block. Let's see what Jody sees. No, I don't do those anymore. I kid you not. I have chased out, I think, 3 different therapists from the entire profession and one psychiatrist. Like they no longer practice medicine.
Dang.
I do have a games related announcement that is
Ooh.
not related to me, and I'm looking for the call, but there is a call for papers for a tabletop organization specifically in academia that likes to have a lot of like classical stuff in tabletop games. So find that, I'll post it. Also related to games, I finished putting together my panels for next November for that conference. So,
Yeah.
yay. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of fun ones,
Very cool.
including an entire panel on tabletop games that is mostly tabletop RPGs.
Very, very cool. It's slightly, I don't know if it's concerning to my therapist yet, but Ilea, you come up in my therapy on a fairly regular basis. So I go,
All right.
I have this friend that's like super, super smart, and she did this study that did this, or she got to, help run this panel that talked about this in gaming and that. Because gaming is such a massive part of my life that it always comes up in therapy. And then I'll also go, oh yeah, and there's this study that was done by a friend of mine, and it's published and it's really cool.
Okay. That's better than another reason I could come up in therapy a lot.
I was thinking about all the other.
And she
reasons
just
that
sat
Me
there
too.
staring at me.
That's also really funny because yesterday my advisor's like, my wife was talking about this thing that you talk about in your dissertation. So I got to be able to inform her about these things. And it was literally Black Sailor Moon cosplay. So
What I'm saying, guys, is become friends with really smart people in academia, because it will give you weird things to tell your therapist, where she has been working as a therapist for like 40 years. And every time, like at the end of like half of our session, she goes, you know what? Every time I have a session with you, I learn something.
yay.
The more you know.
But be careful about that, because as you start to talk with more researchers, you'll realize that they don't know what research actually is.
The amount of people who say they're doing an ethnography in like media studies who don't know what ethnography is insane.
That's a real word, right? Like you didn't just make up a word right now.
No,
That is a-
that is a real word.
Yes.
Okay.
We used it in we had it in grad school. It's about like specific like studies of people and like behaviors and stuff.
It's very specific what you do, and there's long form and short form ethnography. But everyone who doesn't know what methodology they're using just is like, I did ethnographic work. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Because I'm trained in anthropology where ethnography was developed. So
Yay. So
High
I
class academia
reiterate,
stuff.
become friends with really smart PhD candidates. It's fun. If for no other reason than it's really fun.
though maybe become friends with them not because they're PhD candidates, because I've known Jody since before I started grad school the first time.
We met in the Geek and Sundry Twitch chat because Ilea was one of the mods, and she had complained about something like she could never find a group to play D&D with or something.
I said
similar
I
to that.
want to play.
And then I literally just went, do you? She said, why? I was like, because I have a game if you want to play it. It's a parody game. And so that's how we met, was I cast her in one of my parody D&D Giga games.
And that's how I met Elias.
Yeah, because Elias was in there too. So I can't remember if Gil was in that one, but
He wasn't in the first one. Don was in the first
Don
one.
was.
Yeah.
A couple
And what
other
I
people,
remember
think.
is we finished the game, and basically everyone went, "Are you sure you're chaotic good? Because this feels chaotic evil." And that has been the struggle ever since.
yeah.
I'm kind of glad we haven't played in a while, because if we had, I would have seen enough of Ricardo. I might have gone chaotic evil.
I gotta bring that group back again. Maybe we'll do something in honor of the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons and just do some nonsense. I have to see how many people I can get to come back. Anyway,
I just found the most evil clock ever on Kickstarter, and I kind of want it to screw with the kids.
what does it do? Count
Did you say
backwards?
evil?
I
Clock?
found it.
You have to do math, and it increases the level of
Ooh.
complexity.
Okay, I found the conference that has the call for papers that likes a lot of like TRPG panels and stuff. So there, I put it in the chat.
I once had an alarm clock app on my phone that made me solve an algebra equation to turn it off.
Nice. Not for in the morning. That's
First thing in the morning,
coffee.
I had to solve math in order to turn it off. I could set the difficulty, but it got too easy, so I stopped doing it.
Fair.
I have a bad habit
Apparently-
of adapting to every alarm I try to use.
All I
had
needed
speak
was
out
my
class
phone
at like
buzzing.
7:45 in the morning, and that was the worst decision of my life.
My cat woke me up at 7, and then I went back to sleep. And then Jody woke me up at 9:15, and I went, "Whoops."
The most effective alarm I have is thinking I'm oversleeping.
Yes, or getting your days wrong.
I imagine that would work too. I don't remember a time that's happened, but
Oh,
This is my
Yeah.
alarm right here.
does she look
I
your
thought
nose?
Elias was
The
going to say
underneath of your nose?
his new pupper.
I had him
I had a
for
cat
over
that
a
would do
year.
Only a
that
Bianchi.
at 3 a.m. every day. Just look here. Worst thing ever.
I wish mine was that nice. He headbutts me in the morning.
John
right in
used
the
to
nose.
I would rather take a headbutt than sandpaper under my nose every
John-
morning because it was just red every morning.
Sean used to take his nails and lightly graze my chin, and just do that as a warning if I didn't wake up and pay attention.
My friend's cat would start to knead you, and then if you didn't wake up, they would put out their claws and knead you with their claws, and then like
Mhm.
pull off your blanket and continue to knead you with their claws. Like, you little jerk.
Biscuits.
The fact is,
It's 5 a.m. on Saturday.
So yes, get a pet. Use it as an alarm clock.
Mhm.
Yep.
Just be aware you can't set the time, they set the time.
Any other announcement types stuff going on?
The summer course I'm teaching is full. It hasn't started yet, but it's full. So,
Congratulations.
and I'm going to rework it. So, I know that's not very interesting for most people. But
I released a new episode of my new Essential Lessons 20 series. I do a deep dive into the Pink Ranger role and how it is this close to being broken in Essence 20. Because while other roles can do like 3-4 damage a turn because hit points are much smaller in Essence 20, the Pink Ranger with the right rolls can do 64 points of damage in a single attack.
Hey, that's the ranger I was.
I had Rangers like that, and it.
Min-maxing is fun.
I don't
so yeah.
I don't do it on purpose.
That's a
So if
lie,
you-
and you know that's a lie.
It is not a lie. I just choose the things that I think would be cool.
Yeah, I don't min max. I just try for like the stupidest combinations, and they're so fun to play.
I also do that, so.
So if you're
I'm a
interested
murder
in
hobo, not a min-maxer.
if you're interested in learning more
Well, we
about
definitely
the
know
SS20
that,
system,
Ilea.
check it out. YouTube.com/says Trainer Jody. I'm on my 4th episode now, so 2 more. I've got 3 more episodes of Power Rangers, and then I'll go to GI Joe and Transformers and fun stuff like that. So. Speaking of ancient Greece, since you might know this, Ilea, we had a conversation in other streamers' chat. They're playing Hades 2.
Uh-huh.
The mentor in Hades 2
Okay.
is the Greek deity of witchcraft. Do you know the deity I'm talking about?
I mean, the most likely called on by contemporary witches is Hecate.
Okay, that was the question. We didn't know how to pronounce it because there were people claiming that it was
Hecate.
pronounced Hecate, and
There's
then
a
other
lot-
people saying Hecate. And
there's a lot of different back and forth. At least with neo-paganism, it's usually Hecate. Um, but I mean, it's ancient Greek, so you can just say it's all Greek to me and pronounce it how you want. Just don't
Hecate,
call Persephone Persephone, because that's wrong.
Persephone and Hecate take over the world.
Hecate. That was right. That was right. Everyone's like, no, it's Hecate. No, it's Hecate. And when you guys are all wrong, everybody knows it's pronounced Hecate.
Though
That's
remember,
about it. That's about
Hercules
it.
is the Roman name. It's Heracles in Greece.
And Aeolus, and like Greek names are a lot of fun if you enjoy lots and lots of syllables.
I've been
Yes.
trying to think of a design to put on my motorcycle so that I can call it Aeolus.
I heard a
Let
funny
us know how
joke
that
goes.
I will. Let me
That-
know if you have any ideas.
Yesterday, this relates to ancient Greece. Someone was saying, I'm happy to get high and talk about Icarus, but not too high.
I like that one.
Wow. Wow.
It made me happy.
Nerds, all of you.
I'm now ready to become a Minish womanizer.
Okay.
Why you gotta say it like that?
With that,
Yes, he's right.
I think it's time for us to return to Tears of the Realm.
What is this show again? I never know.
None of us do anymore.
No,
Uh,
no. It's changed so many genres.
The vast expanse of open danger is now behind the party. Realizing that the Temple of the Minish required both the Forest Minish and the Town Minish, the Tearwalkers, with their new friend, decided to travel the great distance required to reach Hyrule Castle Town, where the Town Minish inhabit. Between them and their goal was a vast open expanse full of predators in danger. As the party prepared to cross, a light rain started to fall. And as they continued to cross, the light rain accelerated into a downpour, creating rivers of mud and sticky morasses that they had to cross, dealing with the dangers of predatory hawks, trapdoor spiders, moles, snakes, and worms. The party was eventually able to band together and make it to the other side of the relative safety of a large farmland. Now, the real challenge begins. The players need to convince the Town Minish to ally with their most hated rivals to hopefully save this tier. So, to get everyone back in, since a few of you guys have not been here, you guys got to this big kind of open expanse that was going to take you roughly about 8 hours to get entirely across. Fubari, your new Minish friend, had given you the advice that it was best to travel kind of individually because a very large grouping of people was easier for predators to see than several small groups. And so you all started off in parts except for Zuriah and Aoi, or not Aoi.
I know.
I know. Aoi's a different campaign.
Who?
I know. Aoi is a little blue dragonborn in one of my D&D campaigns.
That plays with
Wow.
it.
Zerai.
Yeah.
That's Zerai.
Chex has a naming pattern. So anyway, Zariah and Aino traveled together, and as everything happened, 4 of the 6 members of this group eventually became one large group. And after getting rid of a hawk by shooting a flaming couch at it, you guys are able to get to the other side. Lex, because you weren't here the entire time, Adesh literally just shield surfed his way across the entire plane.
Motto.
By the time you got, or Mato, sorry. Mato just shield surfed his way the entire time, and when he got to the end, kind of looked at everyone going, wow, you guys look tired. That was super fun. We should do it again. Having completely avoided all of the danger.
Great.
So,
Trap spider sprung up. Motto was on top of it and just did tricks in the air as he was landing. Propelled you further.
Hey, man. What's up?
This is going against everything I ever learned in Scooby-Doo, that it is occasionally correct to split the party.
I mean, it's against what you should do in horror.
Yeah.
Splitting up always goes 100% right all the time, with no exception.
okay, and then Mato, very quickly, you've just gotten a teardrop
Oh,
from Imp for you.
okay.
So give me just a couple seconds to bring up my list.
The Shadow Curse waits for no shield surfer.
Let's go.
I gotta figure
Surface
out-
system rule.
And I have to figure out what to remove, because I think I only get, 2?
Yep.
Apparently, you can also just drop an existing one, and someone else can pick it up.
I was about to say, once they hear what this one is, I will ask.
Though it sounds like Fubari shouldn't be one to do that.
Yeah, Fubari. Technically, Fubari has never actually used a cipher up till now because she was unaware they existed. So you guys have no idea whether or not Fubari can use ciphers or not. You've seen what happens, or teardrops, sorry. You've seen what happens when non-tier walkers interact with teardrops before during the, second session that we ever had. So if you guys want to see what happens if you give Fubari a cipher, you can find out.
Science.
Yes.
Hey, Fubari, you like cool glowing jelly beans?
I
I don't like that.
What happened?
Lex, roll me a d6.
Starting strong. 1.
All right, this is a level 2 teardrop, and the teardrop is called a detonation creature. And I will post this in the Roll20 chat, but I'm also going to read it for you because this is hilarious.
The title's hilarious.
Projects a small physical explosive up to a long distance away that explodes and creates a momentary teleportation gate. A random creature whose level is equal to or less than the cipher's level appears through the gate and attacks the closest target. After about 1 minute, the creature vanishes. Congratulations, I have given you a Pokeball.
Does it attack who's the closest target that it's not an ally?
It attacks the closest target.
Unless you're targeting an ally.
So you would want to make sure that if you throw it, you make sure that the closest thing to the explosion is not an ally.
So, Lex, I'll trade you this muffin of shock. Shockingly delicious muffin.
What's that do?
It shocks someone. I'll put it in the chat.
Here's the problem. I actually technically need one less because I've my limit is 2.
Is anyone not at their limit?
I think everyone's at their limit, right? Dilly? Oh, you're muted.
Use the coolest one, Lex.
Yeah, you could also just use I believe everyone has a subtle cipher right now for a subtle teardrop. So if you want to just activate it, you can activate that and then keep this one. I can't remember what your subtle one was.
I guess the effort enhancer is my subtle one.
Yeah.
I will use that then. For the next hour, I can apply a free level of effort to any task without spending points from a pool.
Very useful.
I'm gonna choose to use that whenever I need to roll next, and it'll go towards whatever roll I do. Can I make that claim, or do I have to claim it now?
No, it's for the next hour. You can apply a free level of effort. So
Great. I'm
I
gonna
forget
call
exactly
that.
what it is.
I'm gonna call that used.
Yep.
Because I feel like a Pokeball would be funny.
So, do you want a delicious muffin?
Is it?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, that's right, you do!
We love food. We love muffin.
My God,
This
you're
is
a killer
gonna-
muffin.
This is good.
It takes out her muffin.
When did I give you a Electro Muffin? I don't remember that.
It was a while ago.
Was this the one that you got for the first episode we did?
No, that was
I think it was the bakery
That
at the
Denny-
Forest Finish camp, wasn't it?
yeah.
You're saying this is
Yeah.
a stale
Yeah, it
electro muffin.
No, it's keeping itself fresh with all the shocking.
I love the fact that the actual cipher is just, strikes a solid creature or object, the attack generates a burst of electricity, and you're like, that's a muffin.
It's a muffin for flavor, literally.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the tier was baked into the muffin, and so it is just a muffin now.
Guys, I feel like the last tier we went in hardly had any teardrops, but this one they seem to be everywhere.
Well, I mean, it sort of was like a dystopia, so it's quite possible that
But what would
I'm
they have
forgetting names.
done with them? Like, would they have been like?
Well, they were
mini power
experimenting with
sources?
everything. I don't know. We didn't have time. I couldn't explore the buildings or my level of command.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to go back.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Do you want to go back? After describing it as a
dash.
dystopia just now? Do you like dystopias?
I liked the position I was given,
Uh-huh.
if you
I got
couldn't
that
tell.
crystal clearly. Cool. That's
If you knock out one person, that means someone else has to take their place.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, just an observation I had.
So, final boss for Tears of the Realms has just been revealed, and it is Zarya.
Yay!
Like mother, like daughter.
Everyone's a little bit evil.
I
most
think
of the
that's
time.
worse, personally, than Zolta.
It was see,
Like,
Zolta,
Zulta was getting
back
caught up in kind of the fury of her power. Zarya actively looks for ways to put her into positions of authority and craves the authority.
Zolta dealt with trauma by trying to gain power and have control over her situation. And now she's happy in a house with lots of children.
So Zarya took all that evil energy and combined it with his Kessa's logic, and is like, "Oh, you know what? I can rule better than them."
So, Bari, where are we going?
This way.
Great.
And so you kind of lead them through this.
Sorry, which cardinal direction specifically was that? No.
Was this cardinal way? Actually, cardinals fly. We are walking on the ground, so
Okay. Yeah.
it is not cardinal.
Thank you.
State
Yeah.
bird of Arizona, by the way.
It's their baseball.
And not Missouri, where the Cardinals play?
Cardinals
Wait, is that
are
Missouri?
the Arizona football team.
Oh, it's football, not baseball.
Are there Cardinal? There might be a Cardinals baseball team.
I think
in
there
Missouri.
is.
St. Louis
Not in
Cardinals.
Missouri, but yeah.
Oh, I've always known the Arizona Cardinals as a football team because
What?
they don't win football games.
Oh,
Like, it was the weirdest thing moving from Arizona to Wisconsin because we went from a place where football was a joke to football was a religion.
And in
and
Wisconsin,
they still don't win football games.
And yet, if you lived
What are
in
you
San
talking
Diego,
about?
the Chargers both never won a game and had a cult. So sometimes you can combine them.
the state bird of Wisconsin is the robin.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But no, the Packers won the first Super Bowl and have like 4 Super Bowl victories under their belt in the career. So
Fubai, is
Also-
there sports ball here as well?
So just
We have acorn, and we throw acorn, and we hit the acorn into the oak hole.
just so you know, the cardinal is multiple states' bird, but it is not the state bird of Arizona.
it's not. Oh, it's the cactus wren, dipshit.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought it was the cardinal.
Which-
We had cardinals there.
You definitely are not, sir.
It's a good idea. I'm gonna go find an acorn.
It's the
Otherwise,
state bird of
no one else will be
So
right
it's the
back.
state bird of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky.
Why did I think it was the state bird of? That is
North
so weird.
Carolina, Ohio.
Somewhere Brennan Lee Mulligan is losing his mind.
Oh.
Yeah. Virginia.
I know
West
the state.
Virginia.
I know the
6
state
states.
tree is saguaro cactus,
Yeah.
and I think the flower is a cactus flower. But I don't know. The state animal in Wisconsin is the badger because badgers are awesome. So, and no, it was not a punishment. Badgers are super cool, and in heraldry, they stand for protection.
But did you know that that is not why they are the mascot of the University of Wisconsin system?
I assume it's because badgers are ferocious.
No, it's not about the animal at all. Badger was the nickname for the miners who like lived in the holes in the
that makes
hills.
sense.
Yeah, so it's about the mining history of the state.
Yeah, Wisconsin had a lot of mining, and then we stopped mining and started farming cheese.
Welcome to your Saturday morning educational programming.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
To be fair, like if you've ever seen a cardinal, like cardinals are gorgeous birds. Like they're bright, just absolutely bright red, or at least is it the males that are bright red, and then the females are like the
Yes.
kind of burnt brown kind of color.
Tears of the Realms, also called Today I Learned.
Tears of the Realms, also called bird facts.
I mean, it's not just bird
Bird
facts.
and
We do this.
poisons.
We do this every time. We're like, oh wait, its scientific name is this.
Brennan Lee
No,
Mulligan
that
is
limestone.
From a show of hands, how many ADDers do we have here?
Officially, I
Somewhere-
have never been diagnosed.
somewhere in LA.
The
Brennan Lee
signs are
Mulligan is
there.
having a stroke.
In preschool, they had me evaluated, and the psychiatrist said that my brain worked faster than most people, but that I didn't have ADD. And I'm pretty sure what they said is she neurodivergent AF.
But we don't have a label.
But this was the 1990s, so girls didn't get diagnosed as much. So,
I remember when I was like in kindergarten or something, I was a fast learner, and they had me like tested for the gifted and talented program. Whatever, they had a name for it, and I didn't get in, and it crushed me when I was a kid. And
Aw.
then when I got to like third or fourth grade, because we moved states at that point, um, I was again very, very smart. And one of the teachers approached me and said, "Hey, maybe you should be in our gifted and talented program." And I went to my parents and like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't, because last time, you know." Long story short, I get tested, I get in, and I realized that gifted and talented was really just let's give you extra homework. And I thought it was the dumbest thing. I'm because I have all these other smart people. All of them were in my advanced math class. I was like the only advanced math kid that wasn't also in G and T, is what we called it. Um,
Gate.
Yeah,
and
we called it gate.
we
Yeah,
just
we did.
looked at. I just looked at them and was like, "Oh yeah, today we're going to, we're going to be doing research to write a paper." I said, "I'm sorry, what?" Yeah, we're all going to be writing papers on. I'm like, so this is like more homework? Well, yeah. I said, so wait a minute. We were so smart that we were able to do all the homework super fast and then had nothing to do during class. And so the solution was to give us more homework? Like,
So, my gate program, we dissected earthworms and cow's eyes and made like architectural things out of stuff that had to survive earthquakes and wrote poetry. And I got more homework anyway in fifth grade because math was too easy, so they gave me a sixth grade workbook. But that wasn't gate. That was just regular day. Also, fun fact, what is Utah's state bird?
Cardinal?
The answer is the California goal.
Makes sense.
Utah doesn't seem like a real place.
They have a seagull as their state bird that specifically is from a different state.
well, and don't seagulls generally tend to hang around the sea?
Honestly,
And
yeah.
Utah is landlocked?
they'll hang
Aggressively-
around large bodies of water, so it makes sense with the Salt Lake. However, even the scientific name of this bird is Larus californicus.
I mean, we get seagulls in Lake Michigan. I mean, it'd almost be as bad as like the national bird of the U.S. being the Canadian goose. Like,
Wait, so you don't have seagulls, you have gulls.
oh,
Yeah,
we call them
seagull is-
seagulls.
Seagull is a misnomer, but yeah, they're all gulls. And they're all gulls.
If you
So
walk-
sorry.
Like, if you go to Navy Pier in Chicago, they've got plenty of gulls that'll be there and eat any and all food that you have.
Including the one that you're eating.
They are impressive scavengers. Like, you eventually just get to the point it's like not even mad. Like, that was really impressive.
I was mid-bite and suddenly even the bite disappeared.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Seagulls are vicious.
Okay, this is very fitting. What's Maryland's state bird?
The peacock.
Something that's in a Stephen King novel.
Considering
No, that's Maine.
Maine.
Considering the state of Maryland's official state sport is jousting, the peacock is not a bad answer.
They joust in Maryland?
That's their official state sport. But no, actually, this makes a lot of sense. Their official state bird is the Baltimore Oriole.
I mean, it's a cool looking bird. It really is. When I was in like fourth grade or something, we did an entire thing on like birds, and we had to go bird watching. And I remember specifically finding, what's it called, a red-breasted something. It's a little bird, but they have really, really bright red plumage on their chest, and it was just the coolest thing ever. Or red-winged blackbird, I think was the one that I found over and over and over again, because they're everywhere in Wisconsin.
I was gone for minutes, and you're still talking about cardinals?
we've moved on to orioles and gulls and
Utah State bird is the California goal.
That's great.
so now that Elias is back,
We were just
we can
waiting for you. We're
continue.
killing time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
We
it's
missed
called
you so
vamping.
much in your Minish womanizing personality.
We don't have the
Okay.
Messiah, so we got to get into the town somehow.
Womanize any minish. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
Your
as
words,
you
not
guys are moving through this garden, Fubari, you would be familiar with the fact that, in general, younger Minish are told that this area is off limits for a couple of different reasons. One, it's very close to that kind of no man's land. And they don't want kids going around there. And second, because it is a garden, it is very regularly frequented by Hylians that are taking care of the various plants and things in there. So you're relatively certain that you're not going to meet anyone here. But as soon as you get to the other side of the garden, there's a number of different places that you can attempt to go. There is a barn relatively close to the garden that you know a few families that live there. Your specific family lives significantly further in to town. So if you want to continue going, they actually live above a. Well, here I'll let you decide. What kind of building does your family live in?
So I'm taking this like from the borrower's lore, right? So they're living underneath other people's things, correct?
Kind of underneath, around, above. Like depending on a few different families will live in the same big house. So some of them will live under the floorboards. Some of them will live in the rafters and the walls.
Okay. Under the floorboards of a bakery.
Bakery. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there is a bakery in Hyrule Castle to the town that's actually near the center of town, and you can smell the bakery from like a mile away. It's just one of those things where they're constantly breaking fresh bread and lots of sweets and things like that. They're not an incredibly savory bakery. They do a lot, like it's a donut shop kind of thing. They also have fresh bread and rolls and things like that. And it's actually like a block away from the residence of, or the official town hall kind of thing, where the mayor of Hyrule Castle Town is, and that's where anytime the King of Hyrule would come to the town, that's where any official stuff would be gone. So that's near the center of town, which would probably take you, because of the size of Hyrule Castle Town, would probably take you another couple days to get there. And then nearby again, there's the barn. There is a house across the street that's just a regular residence that you know a few families down, and probably about a 2 or 3 hour journey further, there is a cobbler that a few families live in that house too. So where would you like to take the group first?
Do I know anybody in the barn? I'm assuming the barn is the closest.
Yeah, your contact that we talked about a little while ago, his family lives in the barn, along with, like I said, about 3 other families in various places.
Okay, I think we'll go there first since it's the closest.
Okay. So, to get through the garden takes about 20-ish minutes, because it's not a massive garden, but it's a decent enough sized garden. And you guys eventually get to this massive, it looks like hundreds of feet tall, dilapidated looking red building. And you can see like kind of rusted farming implements leaning up against it that are, again, hundreds of feet high. And at the very bottom, you can see like a pile of straw and other kind of discarded bits of farming stuff. And you can see just this tiny little tunnel in it that seems to go into the barn itself. And Fubari, without even thinking, just immediately kind of gets down and kind of crawls into the tunnel. What would the rest of you guys like to do? You are muted, Jax.
Continue to be muted.
I guess we follow her.
I'm going to follow, yeah.
That
Okay.
We're just gonna crawl into
Follow,
the
follow,
ominous
follow,
hole.
follow, follow.
So all of you, as you are climbing through, the tunnel seems much longer than you thought it should be. And as you guys keep going, you suddenly, very quickly, because the tunnel kind of twists and turns a bit, you lose track of Fubari. And when you guys eventually get to a point where the tunnel opens up, there's a huge change in lighting going from the outside through this tunnel, which had lots of light kind of shining through the hay and stuff like that. So once you get in, it's almost complete with a blackness. So it takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust. And the first thing that you notice is a bunch of sharp objects pointed directly at you guys. And Fubari is nowhere to be seen. Yes, Adesh.
So we were, just to clarify, we were crawling through a haystack.
Not quite a haystack, a little collection of hay.
Okay. Did we see any needles on the way?
You did not, though you weren't looking for them.
What if I was?
You bring a magnet.
Okay.
How do you find
Well,
a
are
needle in a haystack? You bring a magnet.
Are there minishes behind these sharp pointy objects, or are they just sort of decorating the room?
Your eyes are still
It's the front
adjusting,
door.
so it takes a little bit of time to see the Minish holding the spears and other pointy objects at you, guys. Fubari, as you came through, you kind of got a similar reaction at first, which surprised you because you've never been greeted this way by Town Minish before. And when they realized that there were other people coming through, somebody just kind of grabbed you and yanked you further in and just kind of forced you to sit down and went.
Is it somebody I know?
You recognize them as a member of one of the families that lives there. You have not interacted with them before. He's the eldest son of one of the other families. His name is Tomi.
Mm-hmm.
But you and him have just never really interacted.
Okay, but I know his name.
Yeah, you know his name. That particular family was not. Most of the families in the barn were not particularly fond of the fact that your contact would talk with you. But his particular family was vehement enough in their beliefs about not interacting that they would actively, like anytime you were anywhere near, they would actively not just kind of avoid you, but they would like encourage other people. Hey, you shouldn't be talking to that one. It's kind of a very kind of prejudicial for the family. So the rest of you, what would you like to do? You have pointy things in your face.
I am mid-crawl.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to unassumedly freeze with my hands forward. And just be like, are we interrupting something?
All of them are just kind of standing there. None of them seem to be speaking at all. They're just pointing spears at you.
Cool, we'll just lay here then. For a while.
The spears are very pointy.
Yeah, it looks like it. I guess I found
Why
out
don't
the
we
rules
have
went.
spears?
Well, you know.
I mean, I've got that thing I've been working on, but that's more of a projectile thing.
Okay, maybe don't talk about weapons R&D while we're at spear point here.
You know what? That's a good point. Thank you.
All right, Can
As you-
I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Can I try to talk to Tomi and say, "Hey, it's buddy. Hello, how are you? These are my friends. What's going on?" This
And
is
as you
kind
say
of-
that, he kind of shoves you with the blunt end of his spear and just goes, silence.
That is not nice. That is not nice.
And he brings his spear up again to point at you. And finally, you guys hear a sound from kind of the rafters. Relinquish your weapons.
No. Can Zariah
Solid answer.
Can Zariah make like vines that will sort of just come up and either hold the weapons or like hold one of
They're
their
definitely gonna
wrists?
think we're force minish.
You theoretically could try that against one of the targets. Again, it's a technique that you've never attempted before, so it'll be difficult for you to try. There is no way you'd be able to get more than one, though. That's just not, as far as like holding weapons in specifically, that's just not something you're used to doing. I think
Okay.
you have an ability that allows you to kind of trap people, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that would, like, you could trap the people so that they couldn't move, but you wouldn't be able to specifically trap all of their weapons.
Right.
So basically, like, the difference between removing their movement speed and removing their ability to attack. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you want to try and use that particular ability, absolutely good, go for it. But as far as using it specifically to trap their weapons, you think you could probably only get one of them.
Okay. Which way do I want to go? I'll think about that while you guys try and figure out a peaceful
So
solution.
after Zariah says, no, one of the people gets closer and just kind of shoves the spear until it's like right, like pressing up, not quite enough to kind of draw blood or anything, but enough that you can feel it. You just see this like really cold, angry stare at you, and a voice that you weren't quite expecting, a very kind of high feminine voice goes, listen to what they say.
All right, since she's that close to me and I have my staff, can I just make like a vine of poison ivy just sort of wrap around and go towards her? Like, it doesn't have to be restraining, it'll just be like circling and then going right up to her.
Sure, we'll call that just kind of a general attack.
Okay.
So go ahead and make an attack roll. I would assume because you're using your abilities, it'd be a power attack roll.
Yeah.
Do I recognize the voice of that Minish?
How do I roll dice in roll 20? Found it.
You on your character sheet,
I found it, yeah.
you know, so let's say if you go down, you can see attacks. And if you want to just roll a generic roll, in the second column, next to courage, wisdom, or power, there's a little die. You can just click on the die and it'll roll for you.
Okay.
So 16 is more than enough. This is going to be a challenge rating 3. So 16 is more than enough. You guys watch as Zariah instinctively just kind of flips her staff up a little bit to knock the spear away to prevent her from getting stabbed. And then as she spins it, she holds it, and these 3 vines kind of streak out towards the young Minish girl. And as they start kind of wrapping around her, the Minish girl just kind of screams and tries to kind of cut them with her spear tip. But the spear tip is far enough away, and the kind of vines have entangled her enough that she can't actually get the purchase. And so she drops it and starts trying to run, just screaming and like crying into terror.
Okay.
And I need 3 speed defense rolls, or not speed, sorry, wisdom defense rolls from you, Zariah, as 3 other members of the group try to tackle you to the ground.
All right. So I am trained in it.
Mm-hmm. Also, real quick from Walugini, take a reroll token, Zariah.
Thank you. 20.
We're going to call all of these challenge rating 5 because they're all getting
8. 28 and 8.
So the first one, as they come forward, without even thinking, you again just bring your staff up and kind of just redirect them, and they end up plowing through the group that includes Mato and Adesh. You just watch as someone just gets blown straight past you, and the two other. One grabs you on the waist and just starts taking you down, and the other one jumps up and kind of plants their knees on your shoulders.
Can I have my major effect being that?
Oh yeah,
some
you
of
get
the,
a major effect. Yeah.
Yeah, being that some of the vines are still attached to my staff, which I'm still holding, and it brushes against them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So in that instance,
Because now
they're not
itchy
going
and
to
in pain.
they're not going to realize what happened until after they have kind of taken you to the ground.
Okay.
And so as they're sitting there, again, you've got two knees on your shoulders and a spear pointed at you. You have another person that's holding your legs down so that you can't you use those. And they're both just
Wait,
looking.
That's 3.
Yeah, you have two knees because one person has two different knees.
Sorry.
What?
I
They
thought
are
you meant
bipedal.
Sorry, I thought you meant 2 people kneeling
no.
on me. Sorry, I heard that wrong. Yes.
So you have one person on your chest effectively poking you with a spear, and then another that's holding your little legs down and has dropped their spear in order to do that.
And Darius just kind of smile evilly at them and snicker.
And the one holding his spear is just looking at you going, just really confused. And he kind of looks over at the rest of the people there who are kind of stunned that all of this action happens just so quickly.
It can be a little bit rougher. I'm okay with that.
You see him start getting a little bit red, and you're not sure if that is anger showing or embarrassment. And then you see him start kind of twitching his head a little bit. You watch him like rub his chin on his shoulder, and you see him like shift the grip on his spear to kind of move the butt of his spear to his neck. And you're now starting to realize that the red that you saw is actually a bit of that poison ivy rash starting to appear much more rapidly than you think it probably should, which might have something to do with the fact that you this is magical poison ivy. And then the person at your leg, you start feeling the pressure on your legs kind of varying wildly as he tries to like move and maybe put his knees on your legs to put it there, and then he's like laying on your legs and scratching, and they both start kind of fighting the urge to scratch pretty rapidly as another voice goes, "See, they're infected!"
Okay. No.
And try to sort of tilt her head back now. Anyone else?
No. Okay. This is getting out of hand very quickly.
I mean, they did point spears at us first.
Yes.
Without even saying hello.
Yes, but we're trying
not
to talk
welcome-
to them.
They were clearly look. Hey, we followed a friend of ours here.
No.
Who came in.
I tried to give you guys a chance to do
Oh.
this peacefully.
They're letting you sit. Can you? Oh, does it look like they're holding her hostage? That it's hostile with her or something?
I mean, they don't look happy to see her, but no one's pointing anything pointy at her.
Yeah, we're with her. Var, if you could.
Yes, these are my friends. I
Thank you.
tried to tell you.
Finally, you guys see this shadow kind of appearing from the rafters that is very kind of raptor looking.
Now they look infected.
And as it descends, you realize that it's not a bird, it is a minish with a large cape that seems designed to resemble a bird of prey.
The Minish
he-
Cape,
he-
my favorite video game.
Yeah. And as he lands, he goes, "You will all be silent,
All right.
Fubori. You have broken the sacred laws and have brought infection to our realm.
Which law?
We do not leave the safety of the town. The outside world is dangerous, and one Minish being found by the large ones endangers all Minish. Though you don't seem to care how many lives you have cost your
I thought
people.
that was suggestion, not law.
Silence, Fubari! We will
Then
discuss
we're
this
not infected.
later.
What infect? What disease? What happened? Also, do I know you?
This is each kind of group of family will generally have kind of like a head person that in situations where multiple families that are living in the same building have to make a decision, they defer to them. This is the head of this group of family who happens to also be a member of Tomi's family. He is their great uncle.
Have you always had the cape? Is this new? Is this a new thing?
Tomi, silence her while I deal with these intruders. And so Tomi just kind of comes over and just gives you this stern look of, if looks could kill, you would have been dead. And Tomi just like, for the love of the goddesses, shut your mouth.
But I'm trying to explain the problem. You were never very fun.
Sick burn.
The rest of you, he points at Zariah. What disease do you carry that have infected my family?
Wait, so you don't recognize poison ivy?
They're town minish, Zariah. They've
They
never
should
seen
still know
forest in their
plants.
lives. There's no cement, not plants.
We do not recognize this word.
Okay.
Have you ever gone to the edge of the forest to get additional food?
We need no forest to get our food. Our food is provided for us
By
our scouts and food finders. There is
Food
plenty of bounty in the
explore
town.
from-
There is no need to venture into the wilds, which are full of disease.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
What disease are you carrying? We
Well,
must
it's
know the name so that we may create an antidote.
All right, so it's called poison ivy, and it's not a disease. It's
not
just a
actual
skin
poison,
irritant.
Just
It's not.
Just an itchiness.
You two, and he points at two people that you guys couldn't see because they were pretty further back. Replace them. Take them to the healer. And they
If
are...
they take a cold shower, it'll stop itching as badly. Just give it a couple days; it'll be fine.
They at this
You
point,
probably don't know
they
what
have
chamomile
dropped
lotion is.
their spears, and they're just...
Are they using their back feet?
They've started doing that kind of dog. You see the other foot just starts kind of thumping a little bit.
Itching spreads it.
So finally,
Does Fubari have any like ointment on her? Because I feel like she'd run into poison ivy a lot outside.
again, the kind of defining feature of your character
Yeah.
is your many pockets. I would be very surprised if she didn't have...
All right. If she has some
Something.
aloe vera, can she try and help them out a little bit, make them feel a little better?
Sure. Why don't you make me a... call this a wisdom roll. Go ahead and make me a wisdom check. To try and convince them that you're not...
So it's been a little bit. Remind me, I have a 15 for wisdom.
So that's your wisdom pool.
Yes.
So the reason...
So
the only
it's
reason that
just the regular roll. Okay.
Yeah. The only reason I ever tell you what kind of check it is if you want to spend effort,
Gotcha.
you have to take points from that particular pool.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're gonna call this a difficulty 5 because they really don't trust you right now.
Hang on,
What?
cat.
No.
Cat is tangled in the headphones. Sweetie.
Hello, kitty.
Okay.
That is the void floof.
All right. I had void floof in my nose. I would like to apply a level of effort.
Okay. So it takes 3 points from your wisdom pool.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you still just roll a d20, and now you need to get a 12 or higher on the d20 because you reduced the difficulty down to a 4.
15.
15. Fantastic. So, as they're kind of going through, you take out technically what looks like a large bit of aloe vera, because normally aloe vera leaves are like that. They're not really big. But when you're only this big, aloe vera is very, very large. So you take out what looks almost like a chunk of bark or something that has this little bits oozing out of it. Because if you've never actually seen aloe vera plant, it doesn't look quite right when you break it, and it has this like clear sap-like stuff coming out of it.
Delightfully gooey.
Yeah, it's weird looking, but it's very useful. And so you kind of take this and you press on it a little bit to get probably like a palm-sized dollop of aloe vera. And you just kind of go over, and at first they kind of recoil, and you just kind of give them one of those looks of, don't be a baby. And you start spreading it, and instantly starts kind of soothing the things. And you basically have to go, okay, lift up your shirt, and I have to get here and here.
It's okay. I fix.
Before she does that, can Jiraiya say, you have to rinse it first. You have to get the irritant off the skin, and then you can apply it, because otherwise you'll just trap it into the
Oh,
gel.
good point.
Yeah. Don't worry.
So we
not
have
like
it's
a
okay.
heavy
I have water flask. So we rinse, and then we aloe. We got this. We do not need to send here. We got this.
I would assume, yeah, Fubari's probably dealt with, because again, she crawls through things. But again, poison ivy to these guys are very, very big. And the poison ivy you created was the size that you're used to seeing it. So it was significantly smaller, and they, of course, didn't recognize it. And as this is happening, you see the head of this household, adequately named Grumpo. So Grump and goes, so you have fallen so far that you use their cursed methods to even cure. Fubari.
Rumble, you have always been such a lame person. It is good to learn things. I fix the problem. You have been very inhospitable. Your mother would be ashamed of you. You have been so rude to the guest. These are my friends. I try to explain. You point nasty, pointy things at them. You are being very, very rude.
And as you say that, you suddenly hear a voice that actually sounds familiar to you. It goes, Fubari! And your contact, which, have we given a name to your contact yet? I can't remember.
We did, but I don't remember it.
Cool. So we're going to come up, what name do you want? We're just going to give it a name now. What name do you like?
I want to say it also started with a T. It was similar to
I have a thing for T's. Let's call him Tella. Let's take it let's take inspiration from Final Fantasy IV. So Tella comes bursting in the room, goes, Fubari! Grumpo, what are you doing?
He's being so rude. You would not believe.
And you see Tella kind of come forward, go, Grumpo, this is Fubari. You know her parents, they send us bread.
Tella, when did he get this cape? This cape is ridiculous.
Fubari, much has happened since you last were here, and there are bad things. And you bring Forest Minish?
No, these are my friends. We have found the way to stop bad things, and we come with good news and much information. Tell me, catch up. What's going on? What happened?
We're also not Forest Minish.
Oh yeah, not Forest Minish.
Yeah, no.
They are from very far away. But we've come to help. We have fix. They are out of town, Minish. Yes, very, very far out of town. But we have fix and we have information. So tell us what is happening here.
You want Tella to tell you?
Yes. Tella.
So Tella turns to Grumpo and goes, Grumpo, Tella, I am the head of the households here. I make the decisions of which people are allowed into our. And Teller goes, no, you don't. I come and go regularly. I trade with the other families. I am the trader of our family group. I am the one that gets to decide which one of these people are worth trading with, and I have decided they are worth trading with. They have infected our people. No, they have not. And you see, Fubari is fixing them. That is why we trade with Fubari.
You
Fubari has
started.
many amazing things.
You pointed pointy things. That was very rude. We fix.
We will discuss this later. For now, he points at a few to take them to quarantine.
By the
And
way,
you
do not be alarmed at the ant parked outside. It is harmless.
You parked at a good parking spot, right? Like a legal
Yeah.
parking spot.
No, he's just
Do you,
chilling.
do you remember which was it in like Navi lot or was it in like you
It was
remember
in
the
the
lot?
Eslo. It was in the Eslo lot, I
It
think.
was in the Ezra lot. Okay.
You locked the ant, right?
The ant is literally here, just couldn't fit through the hay hole.
So you guys are kind of very roughly taken to your feet and strongly encouraged to follow. And after a little while, you guys are all placed in this very kind of dusty room that if you guys look around, you can see areas on the ground that are discolored. And just using a little bit of inference, it looks like this used to be a storage room because you can see where shelves used to be and things like that. But now it's just a big, empty, dusty room. What would y'all like to do?
Anybody else getting reminded of being locked up at the Resistance for no good reason and then having to break out after a couple days? Just me? No? And maybe we'll get some good scones out of it.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Without it, I mean, scones would be great right now. Not gonna lie.
Well, we can get scones when we go see my family.
Okay.
Oh, is that
They
is
have
that
good
happening?
scones. Yay.
Oh,
Well,
heck
Happening
yeah.
here? Like it's okay.
I
so-
figured we'd start here because I thought it might be easier than talking to my parents.
Wait, this was the easy choice?
This, yeah, we walked in and we didn't even say hello, and they're like pointing spears at us.
Oh yeah, but they did not actually hurt you. It's okay.
I mean,
no,
yeah,
So
but that's
your
not
family-
necessarily- that's not necessarily
Did
a
all the
welcoming
hurting.
committee.
It was close
Wait,
enough to draw
wait.
blood.
Your family will actually hurt us?
No, they just very disappointed in me. So we
Oh, I
okay.
understand.
Yeah, got it. Understood.
Dylan's really like, oh,
yeah,
parents
okay,
mad at you?
yep,
I got
yep.
you.
Uh-huh.
The normal state of parents.
Too real.
I felt this would be less painful, so we start here.
I
We work our
mean,
way up.
No, we're all
But
used
they
to
do have very
disappointment,
good
either
scones.
No,
experiencing
Imp.
it or being it.
I mean,
That's not okay.
so I'm still sitting on. This is not exactly a welcoming committee in the sense of, oh, hello, didn't even get us to talk. It's, oh, you're here. Would you like to get introduced to my pointed stick?
Well, it probably didn't help our argument that we're not forest minish for them to then be attacked by a plant.
Yeah.
Is that what happened when I left?
These
have
these are
some-
mixed messages, yes.
We have some damage control to do, I think, but I think we can help do it because they're clearly probably also dealing with some form of the shadow curse here, and that's why they're all paranoid about outside influence. And if we can convince them that we can help them fix that, then maybe we can do that. But I don't know. I know. Can you read their mind again?
I know is just taking notes.
I'll take that as a maybe.
I know, it's hyper focusing.
So as you guys are having this conversation, suddenly the door that you just came through kind of bursts open, and Tella comes in, and he immediately rushes over to Fubari and just envelops her in this big hug, lifts her off the ground a little bit. Fubari, it's so nice to see you. Who
Oh,
are your friends?
oh, let's introduce. And she goes down the line and introduces everybody by name.
Hello.
Well, it is wonderful to meet friends of Fubari. I am Tella. I am chief trader for the Barn families.
Tight.
Cool.
Got anything for trade?
Fubari, you have come at a very bad time. Why did you not request to meet at our normal spot?
So, lot going on. I think we both need to sum up what's happened and then we can talk about plan.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go first since
Okay.
you have not been with the town minister for so long.
Yes, please.
Maybe 6 months ago, we start seeing people fall asleep, and they become very dark, as if covered in shadows. And at first, simply 1, and then 2, and then 4, and then 12, and it keeps happening. The leader of the town Minish, the mayor, claimed that there was infection that was spreading, and that it was from the forest Minish going places they should not. I tried to inform him that there is only one forest Minish that I have interacted with, and isn't really forest Minish, she's Fubari. But they claim that Fubari no longer town Minish. Fubari is forest Minish and therefore is dangerous and dirty. And they claim
I
that
took a bath last week.
they claim that you are the cause of all this sickness.
Me?
Yes, they say it is the forest Minish, that they were delving places that they shouldn't. They awoke a great evil. The only way to fix it is to remove all forest Minish from contact with the town. Everyone. That is the barn families have our focus. Our job has been changed entirely. We used to be here to cultivate various animals and things like that. Now we are guards. Our purpose is to ensure that nothing from the forest gets to the rest of the Minish here.
This is starting to sound like an orchestrated war.
Yeah, something about it feels sus.
I'm sorry, Imp just had the greatest thing. This could turn into a saying, Fubari and find out.
That
Nice.
is where her name came from.
It is.
Nerd!
Are you
Get 'em!
are you not familiar with the military term Fubar?
That is where her name came from.
Oh, again, nerd! Get him!
Fubar is a military term that
F that beyond all
refers-
repair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
A lot of times it's caused by butter bars. So more growing up in a military family, you learn so many ways to just reduce extremely complex ideas into acronyms, because that's all they do in the military. Everything is an acronym. It's annoying. So that being Sissa said, he goes, so what has happened with you?
Okay. This will take a while. Can she give him like a
Yeah, you give
truncated version? Yeah.
the Cliff's notes of everything that's gone on.
Uh-huh. But if I recall correctly, the Forest Minish had like an opposite timeline that it started appearing in the city first, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That their understanding is it came from the city, the town Minish. Their understanding is it came from the forest.
Mm-hmm.
But timeline-wise, as far as when people first started getting sick, it's roughly about the same time. Based on what Titella told you, this whole issue has only been going on for the past like 6-ish months, and you specifically didn't find out about it until probably like a month or two before. Because again, with you being explorer girl, you didn't interact with a lot of encampments constantly. Like most of your time is spent in the wilderness, so it took longer for you to learn about it than other people because you simply just weren't next to a mailbox, learning about what the news of the day was. So he sits there and goes, "Are you sure that is what happened? Because
Yes.
we have scientists here that have been able to show rather conclusively that it was the forest minish that created this plague."
I think your scientists are working on incorrect information.
Well, unfortunately for all, that is the information people have chosen to believe. They are very, very scared of, well, it used to be just forest minish. We cannot interact with the forest minish. They will get us sick. They will destroy us. Now it is anyone outside of your family groups. Like, my ability to trade with other families and other buildings has been reduced significantly, and the cost of trade between family units has been unbelievably increased. They're so terrified of something being sick that they require significantly more to initiate trade now.
So who is still talking to you?
Not many. The family group traders still do what we can to keep lines of communication open. But I would say compared to the, 24 different traders I used to deal with every month, I have dealings with maybe 3 or 4 traders regularly now. The rest simply refuse to venture out. We have become significantly more reliant on the large ones that live here, and for us, the large ones do not venture into the barn very often. So it's why I was chosen for my position. I was very good at getting us the things that we need, and now I cannot. We have been struggling.
Have the large ones had shadow sickness?
Not that we have seen. Again, we do our best to avoid the large ones as often as possible, but we have not seen a large person infected with the shadow sickness. Or at least we have not seen, I personally have not seen any, and I have not gotten news from anyone.
Have you seen any not minish with shadow sickness?
No, really, the farm animals here have been perfectly fine. Our small groups of animals that we raise, our minish husbandry, has not seemed to be affected. To be fair, I myself have only ever seen one person with shadow sickness, and that was at a meeting of all of the different minish families from across the town. They brought in one to show us the signs to look for. Aside from that one person, I have not seen another person fall to the shadow sickness until today, when your friend infected them instantly.
No, Tella. That was not shadow sickness. That was poison ivy.
Are you sure? It was much
Yeah.
too small. I've
We
seen the
fixed-
ivy plants. They're very large.
Yeah, it was small magic version, but we fixed it. It's fine. There's no shadow. Did they
Well,
have
that
any
means-
of the signs that you saw in other person?
To
Was
be
that person
honest,
itchy?
the signs of what shadow sickness are seem to change depending on who you talk to.
Ah. Okay.
I was able to convince Grumpo to allow you to stay here because you have a cure to the shadow sickness. But if you are telling me that this is not a
This
cure
is
to the shadow sickness,
Well-
then we are in a very, very small boat on a very large river.
so we may have cure to shadow sickness, but it is not in my pocket.
So you do have a cure to shadow sickness.
We don't have it on me.
We have idea of what needs to happen. And somebody else sum up because I do not remember much other than temple and sigils.
Again,
you-
to
you- no,
fast
okay.
forward, whichever one of you wants to be the explainer one explains very eloquently exactly what's going on.
So we're here to get a city
Go
to
Adesh.
take to the temple.
Yeah, effectively, the Forest Minish have a ritual that they perform that empowers a staff, and they take it to the Temple of Minish and use the staff to light one of the sigils. The assumption you guys are working on is that there must be something similar for the town Minish, though Fubari, you have never heard of such an item. But that's
Basically,
effectively
we
what you
need
guys
to
are
talk
looking
to the
for.
mayor, convince him that his science is based off of
Okay.
probably xenophobic assumptions, and find whatever magical item and spell he can cast to open his side of the door so we can get into the temple, figure out the source, and cure it at its core. Any questions?
Ubari, your friends speak very strangely.
That's how you know.
Yes, they are so smart.
Fubari, I hope you understand what you are asking. This is a very, very big request.
Yes, I know. But it is very, very big problem. Big problem requires big fix.
You are
No?
right, of course, but
Hella, do you know who we could talk to who might listen? Because we need more listen.
they're
And less pointy sticks.
in town. There is a shop full of very bad smells. Old woman, the large woman, the large one that lives there is an old, decrepit-looking woman, and she creates these colored liquids that she sells to various people. The Minish that live there are alchemists. They mix various things together to create salves and other things. One of the alchemists, a Minish named Sevo, theorized that there was a different cure for what was happening with the shadow sickness, but he was very quickly shouted down. He claims that he has a plan, but no one will listen to him. He might be the only person who would even think of speaking with you. But he is over a day and a half's journey away, and I mean, traveling in the world of the large, in general, you need to have places to rest and to hide while the large are about, and doors are closed more often than they are open now.
We'll figure it out. Also, where did Grumpo get that stupid cape?
Apparently it was a cape he used in his youth. He used to go between buildings. He'd use it to glide.
Does he have
And-
more than one?
I was about to say, can I steal that?
I too would
My
like a rock
understanding is he is the only Minish that has anything like that.
Perfect. So where
Okay.
does he live?
sword. Here. He lives here.
But
Yeah.
where does he live?
Oh, his family lives very high.
Maybe
in the
maybe we
rafters.
can just make one because the Grumpo does not seem very, very engaging. I mean, maybe he
I
would.
could-
When does he
I-
fall asleep?
Zoraya, I could try to make something as a shield that you can then like
Glide
use for
with?
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if we made gliders just to get in between the buildings?
Can
I-
shields be
like-
gliders? Oh, I
That's what
suppose I
I've
can
been
grow
trying.
something.
That's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to make like 4 things that like. Well, I don't know if you guys remember when all of these other like realms came together, but suddenly I had like floods of memories of me, like gliding on and flying with shields, and I don't remember how to make it, and I'm trying to figure that out. So yes, let me try to build something.
You have 2 hours.
Oh, I help! I help!
Oh no, my internet froze. Why did my internet freeze?
Can you still
Yeah.
We can still hear you. Oh,
Oh.
bye.
Oh, there she goes.
And nope.
So,
Well, at least you got a warning.
Tella kind of looks at you and goes, "You create things that glide through the air like a hawk on hot wind."
Well, at some point I did. I right now I make different kinds of shields, and I pull like out of my bag one of the shields. It has a leaf on it, and I press it, and then it comes out into a shield. This one is I use this a lot when I'm in the forest because it looks cool, and I normally build like shields to surf on. They're okay in combat, but like they're usually made for surfing.
Tella looks to you again, Fubari. Fubari, your friends are very strange. But
Yes.
this idea, this could change how the town Minish live. Walking in the world of the large is incredibly dangerous. They can step on you. There are other things that happen there that are just too dangerous. But if we could fly between the buildings are taller than the tallest of the large ones.
Okay. So, I think we talk and we see what we can build.
This can
Because-
be what we offer the mayor as part
Yeah.
of something you can advance. Assuming you can get a prototype working. by
We
the
can
time
get
we
prototype
there, you
and
know.
we can string lines between the buildings. So we
We can
have
try.
yeah.
Two
we
and a
can
half
put-
days. You
we
got
can
this,
put rope.
Mara.
Yeah.
No problem.
Do you have like a place that I can like just tinker with things, like a little like a workbench or anything like that?
I have area in the rafters where I would plan all of my different trades and things like that. I could clear spots in there for
That
you
would be
to-
great.
to
I'd be
work.
more than happy to use that.
Okay.
Help. We help.
Then this is what I will tell Grumpo. I'm going to tell you right now. Grumpo has already made the decision that what is best for us to do is to take you to the great dirt expanse, tie you to stakes, and wait for the birds to finish you off.
Well,
So
that's unfortunate.
I know a
that's,
coward
Where does
is.
he live again? How high up?
very high up. But to convince him otherwise will take a great amount of convincing. But I think I can convince him to delay long enough for your friend to come up with prototype. And if we have a prototype that I can show and it works, I might be able to get you a meeting with the mayor.
Great.
I mean, I can help with the convincing.
Fubari, and he kind of leans
Hey.
very closely. Is this particular friend, is she dangerous? She seems very happy to maim and hurt.
Probably yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He kind of gets up and he turns towards you, and you can see, like, you can hear the waver in his voice. Perhaps we wait for we call aggressive negotiation. We use other negotiation tactics first. But I know you have very good. So when we need, I will come to you.
Where are we going to go to the alchemist? She just
Yes.
like
Yeah,
we
completely
should wrap
disregards
him
it.
into this.
So this is plan. Alchemist is like day and a half journey, and it's very dangerous because it is during day and there are the large ones around. So what we are going to do is build thing to fly from top of building to top of building, and we will cut our travel time and we will not get smooshed. But we have to figure out the fly. So science.
Um,
I work on one and you work on one and we help. We work together. Yes.
Can likely
um,
make a wooden frame if that will help.
Yeah.
I think
We can do
I can
glide.
convince Grumpo to allow me to move you from here, which is closer to the families, to my planning workshop, which is further away.
Okay.
However, I do not believe he will allow me to take any of you out of the building. So I think what I will do is once I get you set up, I will go and see if I can bring Alchemist to you. See if he has other insight. And you just spend time working on prototype. Does that sound like good plan to you, Fubari and Fubari friends?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Sure.
You are being very helpful, and we appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Well, I have known Fubari for a very long time, and Fubari, while strange, has never led me the wrong way.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
She once led us to the wrong town, but other than that, yeah, same here.
It was close enough, town.
By
Village.
her
I shouldn't
strange.
say town. Town's a charged word around here. I apologize.
No, this town is okay. This is good town inside.
All right, so this will be difficult. I will be back as soon as I can. And he leaves, and you hear the door lock, and you hear a really heavy bar being set on the other side of the door.
Okay.
What's the door
You
made
pick
out
up
of?
Hopper.
Can
It's
we? Like, why? Do you not like to go with the flow? And go.
I don't
for-
like being trapped against my will,
I mean, neither do I.
or things pointed at me,
I also hate both of those.
especially when I've done nothing. If I've done something, then it makes sense. But if I haven't done anything, I don't like it very much.
I'm not the difficult one.
I think it's just like, finally!
Eileen is
You
just
rubbed
like,
off on
"Thank
me after like
God."
5 years.
I agree
Sorry.
with you on both of those things. However, I also try to recognize whenever compliance would be the best way to get out of that situation without killing people or hurting people that that are probably just confused.
It's not killing or hurting, it's temporarily incapacitating.
Through rashes, and I called it not actual poison earlier, but it's literally poison. Just
Also, emotional hurt is still hurt.
good
That's-
point, Dilly.
Temporary incapacitation. They'll get over it, it's just a rash.
Yeah, but if you do that right out the gate, they may see it as an act of aggression and may do something more than temporary incapacitation.
I mean, they
in
threw the
return.
first punch.
They didn't, though.
Yes,
just
they are
pointed.
scared. They are very scared, and so they are trying to keep them and their family safe. And we want to fix it all, and so maybe making them more scared is going to make it harder.
Yeah.
I understand that, but you can do things besides pointing a staff or a spear at someone's throat.
And that's something we hope to relay to them so that they learn that lesson after
think they've learned it
we
after this.
all get out of the initial situation unharmed. Granted, we all know there are situations where harm is required. I felt like that was not one of them. But that's just, my opinion and something to rattle around in your brain to think about.
Well, I mean, grabbing one of our companions and essentially restraining them right off the bat. Kind of an act of aggression against everyone as a whole.
Jody, does anyone else notice this, or just me?
As of right now, you don't believe so.
Okay.
But if it continues, it may possibly. You you basically have a bit of time to try to figure out a way to deal with it before it becomes a larger problem. Let's
Well,
say.
let's. As I recall, the thing you're referring to
Mm-hmm.
doesn't exist in this form because everything's tied to my weapon.
Theoretically, it should.
Because my artifacts are completely blank and gone, and you told me that that's not there anymore.
Oh, that's simply because I didn't. The specific items that are your what I call your character items are supposed to exist in each version. They just kind of change
okay.
and modify. I just forgot to put it in.
Okay,
So
I'll try to remember that. Okay.
that's a my fault thing. Yeah, in the same way that when you were in your power armor, it was it existed as part of the power armor. It also exists. If you want to say that it's part of your sword, that would make sense. But it exists in some way in every version. So
It's fine. Yeah. Okay, I need to. I can't look at the artifact description without changing versions.
I can just copy it for you real quick.
Can Motto look for a place to, or go up to start trying to mess with like stuff to make a prototype?
Yeah. Give me a second here.
The
Yep.
answer is yes.
Fix some stuff.
Kubari is going to follow him very excitedly.
Darius
So that
also
should at
gonna
least
follow
give you
him and do
everything
some
you
sort
need
of
to be able
craft
to
next-
read it.
Do some sort of craft next to him before she starts threatening more people.
So it might take a few minutes for it to show up, but it should be in your equipment section now.
It's equipment. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So it's
Interesting. I see. I understand.
We just moved
I understand
Dottie?
now.
oh, there it goes. Okay, fine.
Some people go nonverbal. Dottie goes non-visual. Okay. So does this mean? Okay. I think I understand now that I can see everything. As Zariah goes off to consider the words, to look at the R&D project beginning to take shape, I also go wander in a random direction across the room and just sort of cool off from the conversation as well.
Okay.
And wonder if anything else happens as a result.
I will again, so as not to reveal anything. So that's what you figure out while you're dealing with stuff. For the rest of the group, you guys watch as Adesh again seems slightly not himself for a moment. Something about him seems different. And after having that conversation with Zariah, he just kind of goes off into a corner by himself, and it takes his scimitar out. Which the rest of you, your weapons have been taken away from you, but for whatever reason, Adesh still has a scimitar, and you guys remember the scimitar being taken away, and yet it's right there.
Oh, they took it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
With your particular focus now, having your weapon taken away from you is significantly more difficult than it sounds. So,
You know, I thought that, but I was looking at the description. I couldn't see that.
Did they take my staff?
Surely you didn't display that as a weapon instinctually at any point, did you?
yeah.
No, it just grew out of my hand.
Did you not make it grow from your staff? Because because how your shadow powers work, where you can only kind of bind them to your control rod. I
Right.
assume that all of your magic stuff comes from your staff as well.
Yes, which is why I asked if they took it.
Oh, yeah, they would have at least attempted to take it from you. If you want to come up with a reason why they wouldn't, you are more than welcome to. I simply forgot to mention that they were disarming you.
Because it's
But
still
that
wrapped
would've
in
been-
poison ivy.
Is that how you want to try and convince them to let you keep it? Is having it wrapped in poison ivy? Or do you want to try a different route? Because that's 100% a way that you can do it. However, there are ways to grab poison ivy without getting hurt in any way, shape, or form.
Which they're apparently not used to because it's so small.
Well, they're used to dealing with things that you don't want to touch. So they can, I would assume even very primitive people could figure out how to create something that allows them to grab something without touching it. Like cooking, for example, requires you to be able to touch things, move things without touching them directly. So they could very easily just use tongs to take it around.
Yes, how strong are they?
So again, if that's the route that you want to go with it, I'll have you roll probably a power
No,
check.
I'm not gonna do that.
Billy has not displayed their daggers and, in fact, has hidden them more.
Okay.
I guess I
Well,
still
again,
have.
the thing about your bracers, when the daggers go away, they come back. So they very easily could have seen, oh, those are weapons. They take them away, and then you just look and they're back.
Yes, but I never brandished a weapon during
Okay,
the
yeah.
thing.
So
Since I can control things from my, I'm calling it a staff because it sounds better.
Yeah.
From my staff, can I change the shape of my staff so instead of being a staff, it changes into something that like I can wrap around my arm or something?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Again, it's something that you've never done before, so I do
Yeah.
want you to make a power roll for it. But we're going to call this a difficulty, let's say 2,
Okay.
because it's not a completely bizarre thing.
Oh, I forgot to add my reroll token to my notes. I'm sorry, I'll do that. 8. I hate roll 20 so much. Squeezle.
Your dog named Squeezle.
So yeah, you were as they were trying to take everything from you. You basically did the kind of keep away thing where they go, "Give me your staff." You go, "What staff?" You kind of like move it around. They're like, "We saw you with the staff. Give us the staff." It's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." You turn to Dilly? Dilly, do you see a staff? And Dilly, you're allowed to respond to that however you want.
Dilly is going to look very hard for a staff.
So Dilly you just start like lifting up things. It's like not like there's a little pebble on the ground. It's like it's not here. And then you just start like, you're like, everyone just check your shoes real quick. You could have just stepped on it and you didn't notice. And while all the chaos is going, you now have this very elaborate, I can't even call it a bracelet because it goes all the way up your arm. So you basically have like a sleeve that this staff is turned into.
While Dilly is looking for the staff, they're going to say, "Oh, Soraya, that's lovely jewelry," and then keep looking.
Thank you. I can make you one if you like.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Like what Imp said, Blue's Clues, can you find Zoraya's staff?
Dilly is currently attempting to take off the himbo shoes to check in them.
Himbo
Wow.
shoes? What are these?
Hey,
They're
Mado's
just
our
also known as
himbo.
Mado shoes.
Oh.
yeah, they're me.
So all of that happens before you guys get put in there. So you still have your staff, which is now, if you want, every time you use this form, your staff can turn into your arm sleeve.
Oh yes, yes. Various things is going to turn into a
Okay.
giant fist.
So now you just have a nature-filled arm.
You're a weird version of Miss Marvel.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. Soraya is very happy with the fact that she is nature now.
Nice.
Nature. Is
So
poison.
yeah. So the rest of
I'm
you
gla-
kind of go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm glad you and nature have found common ground.
And now
Poison
Soraya
in nature and
can just
poison in
go,
my
you know
heart.
what we need? We need our handy dandy
Mistletoe
You're
berry.
right. So let's draw Zoraya's staff. Goo-doom, goo-doom, goo, goo. We're going to start with a squiggly line here. Then consummate, please. I said consummate. No
Before-
glory if it came and bit you in the face.
Before we move on, can Dilly have collected items that could potentially make a staff?
That'll take a roll. Go ahead and make me a power roll for that.
We're just gonna have a nice crafting session.
Now, I'm not going to say,
Your
I don't
crafting
actually care if these can make a staff or not. These are just items that Dilly is like, well, maybe.
On like a leaf that
11.
you twisted.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll go with that. So eventually, as everyone like Dilly keeps going, oh, check your back pocket. It's always there. And so you start, and people are getting upset with Dilly at this point. Like they've completely just ignored Zoraya because Dilly is doing everything she can to make herself the center of attention and is doing remarkably well.
Themselves.
Themselves.
But
I apologize.
the master plan is working.
So they eventually are able to gather together enough, like you get a few kind of longer pieces of hay, and then you kind of very quickly using the sleight of hand that you would have kind of learned in the circus to do like close-up magic and stuff like that, you eventually have the kind of worst excuse for a staff you guys think you've ever seen, where it's like it's a bunch of things that are tied together and it kind of holds its shape, but it's like those wooden snakes where it just kind of
Mado shoe is on.
Motto shoes on the top, and
I am so sorry about this.
I found it! Dilly offers it to them.
and everyone is perplexed because first of all, they didn't see you make it. You just kind of pulled this staff out of your ass, and they're like, and it's not the staff they remember. Like the like there were people that were right next to Zoraya that saw her use this staff, and they're sitting there going, I remember this. That's not the staff she used, but there isn't another staff around. And so they're dealing with this immense amount of cognitive dissonance where they're just going, this isn't possible. And they're like Dilly has officially gaslit these people.
Yay. I would really like it, and this is up to Lex, but it would be really funny if Motto just came and took their shoe bag.
I was about to.
Dilly's
I
still
was.
just holding it out.
I was literally like thinking that exact thing of, wait, can I get my shoe back, please?
And so as Dilly is sitting there going, here, go ahead and
Mono just goes up to it, very slowly reaches for the shoe,
puts the shoe on.
grabs the shoe.
Tilly
Puts
just keeps
it on.
smiling, does not make eye contact with Motto, still staring at them.
I look at Dilly. Okay, and then like goes and tries to craft stuff.
Oh, this is before we're crafting.
Oh,
Yeah. This is when they tried to take our weapons.
okay.
This
Actually, side
entire
question on that.
episode was a
Do I
retcon.
still have that?
It's a
Do I
rewind.
still have all my like other like tinkering tools or all that or shields? I get because like I don't know if I didn't bring any of them out, and then I missed like half of what happened there, so I assume maybe not.
Yeah, I mean your shields look like little discs. They don't look like weapons.
Yeah, when your shields are not actively out, they look like pins, if I remember correctly. They just look like little mini versions of the shields, right? When you have them.
Yeah, they were discs
yeah.
in other things. Maybe they were pins in this realm. Okay,
But they just look like small things, so they wouldn't naturally assume that those are weapons.
great. So I have everything. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, then while
It's
we're
just
doing the crafting
things
session,
that they would actively see as weapon. Like again,
Are they
Uh,
actually going to try to go through Fubari's pockets?
no, they just
The
showed you
Mary
the room.
Poppins puppets.
They've already learned that searching you is an exercise in futility because it doesn't matter how long they search, there are more pockets. So they figure just locking you in a room and putting a very large board in front of it to prevent you from coming out will be good enough. They don't have that kind of time.
during the crafting session, can Zaraya make what her staff now looks like an approximation of that for Dilly?
Yes and no. The reason it's able to kind of exist on your full arm and have a joint in it is because it can change and move with you.
Right.
If you make it for
that's an approximation.
yeah, if you make it for Dilly, they won't be able to bend their arm if it's the full arm.
Right.
So if you make only like the bracer version of it, they can do that. But the full arm thing would prevent them from using their arm effectively.
Yeah. Or if you have on 2 bracers, I can do it for your upper arm.
Yeah.
So.
And it will
Just-
be after it's taken off from your staff, it's effectively dead
Right.
wood, so it will decay.
I would like a crown.
You know, when I was thinking about these powers for everyone, never considered this actual
Sure.
use. So,
Okay, so question about my powers.
Mhm.
Is it only possible to grow things, or can I decay or dry things?
the specific abilities that you have right now are, I have to look at this again. Speaks for the land. So right now,
Oh, where is that listed? Speaks.
that's the name of the focus is Speaks for the Land.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So right now, your focus is on, like, your powers are really built around the idea of communing with nature and protecting nature.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
part of
really,
nature is death.
yeah. That's the part that doesn't need protection. Nature does death perfectly fine. So right now, your powers are limited to the ability to grow things and control living things, not dead things.
I mean,
Does
but
that make sense?
sometimes nature will like dry off and like create a husk around it so that it can protect its inner core.
As of right now, the powers that you have is entirely around
Okay.
growth.
Okay.
As
But
the,
I would like to point out, you can have certain things grow that will choke other things.
Mm. Oh, I've got that list. Don't worry. And that can eat other things.
Yes.
Carnivorous plants.
Yay.
It's exactly what it's
Keep that
exactly
in
what we
mind.
need is for you to walk around with a bunch of Venus flytraps.
So is Zaraya like essentially a necromancer in the other realms?
There is a lot of things.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying necromancer. She controls shadows, and she uses
Okay.
them to build things.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like normally I make
And-
giant mallets and like hit people
Yeah,
with it, or
she's
I
a
trap
very
them, or...
the interesting thing about Zariah is in her regular focus, in her regular form, she's a very physical character. She's much more of like a fighter style character that just has the ability to make their own weapons. And this focus has kind of shifted her away from being pure physical to being a little bit more in the more magical realm.
Because
Okay.
now
Which is
my
one of the things
powers
I like
can,
about this.
the things that I grow can be detached versus my shadow form, they have to stay on my rod.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and she hated
And poison.
having nature powers when she first got them.
Yes.
So,
Communing with nature.
Is there a? Do we feel like there's a guard or something outside the door?
you don't know. You know that they have basically barred the door. So, if there is a guard outside, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Okay. Can I just go up and like?
Basically,
knock
what
on
it is you guys have gone through a what is it? Effectively like a 2x4. And so the door is effectively, they have cut at an angle part of the 2x4 out, and it swings open and then swings back shut. So you basically have 2 inches, which for you guys would probably be like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 feet of wood in front of you. And the doors are just very, very thick because they just chop, or they carve into 2x4s and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
A little bit. Either
Okay.
way, I see a closed door,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm assuming they have it locked in some way.
Yeah, they just have a big heavy thing on the other side to prevent it from opening because it opens outward.
Yeah. So I will knock.
So as you then a knock on the door, nothing seems to happen for a moment.
Dilly's gonna go over to Adesh knocking on the door and go, "Do you need this?" and hand him one of the Aruna hand bombs that they got.
Oh, I have my own, but that's good.
Okay,
Good
and
to know.
takes it back.
It's a last resort. Thank you.
Dilly has many bombs.
I
imagine Dilly would be
just
good at
have the
picking
one,
locks,
so that's
too.
good to know.
No one's asked me to.
Where do
Yeah.
you keep all those bombs?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
I mean, where
Where-
did she pull the staff out of?
Don't
Them.
worry about it.
I
Where
knock
did they pull
harder.
their staff out of? Sorry.
Okay. After trying it a few times, you do eventually get an answer. I'm going to say I sent you another message and rolled to the 20,
Yeah, I see
kind
it.
of clarifying what was going on. I'm going to say that's something you need to deal with before you get an answer.
Tight.
that
Thank
makes
you
sense.
for that.
All right, so yeah, it'll take you longer to get an answer than that particular situation is going to last.
Dilly,
Yeah. What's
can
up?
you please tell me where you keep all these hand bombs? I would very much like to know this information.
Well, I don't keep them where I keep all my daggers, I'll tell you that much. And Dilly walks away.
But I would very. Please. I'm very curious.
I have many things. You have to learn how to pack responsibly, Adesh.
That word?
I would like to try and persuade Dilly to tell me this information. However, that works on another player character. I don't know.
I don't have people roll against other player characters because it takes away
Right.
player agency. But you can continue. Like, if you can't think of what your character would say, you can just say, Adesh pleads strongly with this character to find out this
I don't want to
information.
make it a huge deal, but
Oh, don't worry. Go ahead.
what? Why did you say that?
I have never been more worried by somebody saying, "Oh, don't worry."
I
Mm,
have. And it was probably also for Mylea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a common occurrence.
Or Kiri.
Look,
I'm not dangerous at all.
I just want to.
Yes, but the characters you play 100% are.
I'm starting to have a lot of stuff on me, so.
Billy's not dangerous in the typical way my
Yes.
characters are dangerous.
I'm starting to carry a lot of stuff, and if you have an efficient storage mechanism, like I'm pretty sure Iruna's got some magic bag because he pulls stuff out of there
Hmm.
that shouldn't fit. But do you have one of those too? Like,
Wait, where's all your stuff?
it's on my person. I don't.
Okay, let's spread it out so that we can pack this in the most efficient way possible. Given Dilly's history of moving town to town and having to pack things quickly and efficiently, I assume that Dilly would be very good at Tetrising stuff together.
Oh yeah, as soon as you see multiple items in your head, you just hear bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba dum bum 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 bum.
That's just
So-
real life for me.
Adesh, what all things do you have on you? Obviously, he has his sword.
I have a weapon. I have the hand bomb. I have. Let's see here. Papers. I had
Loose papers?
I had an eightfold blade. Did that become my weapon in this realm, or is that separate?
That technically would have been separate. The
Okay. I pull out
the weapon
Pull out
manifested.
another blade that just kind of comes.
That
out of my
would
blade.
have been taken.
Oh.
So your eightfold blade, you would not currently
I
have.
do not pull out my eightfold blade, but I do explain to Dilly. I normally have an eightfold blade on me, so just pretend that I've laid one of those out here.
Okay, so Dilly's gonna start picking up all of Adesh's stuff and putting them on him in various ways,
What? Why? What?
leading to it all like working better. Just more efficient.
I look so different now.
No, the point is you don't.
But
You look like you.
I don't know.
You just feel better. More type A.
What? What does that mean?
Less obvious weapon bulges.
What? All right. Well, I'll try this out. Thank you.
Motto, how's
Yeah.
that coming, by the way?
You know-
Really quickly before you do that, why don't call this a difficulty 3 power check for Dilly? If I could just have you roll difficulty 3 power check.
Sure. I'm gonna re-roll that
Okay.
since it was a 1.
You don't want to give me a new intrusion?
14. That's much better.
All right, so
Get rid of that
as you're
reroll
doing
token.
this and as you're kind of doing these together, as you're looking at Adesh and kind of making sure that everything is hidden in the right spots, you kind of focus on his eyes for a brief moment, and you notice that for a little bit his eyes turn red. And when you kind of see that, you kind of blink for a little bit, and then they're not red anymore.
That's a neat trick. All right. We'll work on that later, Adesh.
What, the
Motto!
item
What?
placement? Okay, goodbye.
Dilly walks away.
Dilly, try on this crown. Tell me if it's spiky enough for you.
Ooh, okay, but it's external spikes, not internal spikes.
Correct, yes.
Okay,
Because
good, good.
I do actually like you.
Okay. So
But it
Dilly
does have two little ones that'll like pin into your hair. So
Okay. Can I like rope the hair pieces that have the tears on them through the crown?
Sure. It'll take you probably
Sorry,
the better
this-
part of 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is Dilly just wondering
Oh, okay.
to themselves. At some point, that is likely to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
Dilly puts on the crown. Okay, am I still aerodynamic? Dilly's going to Naruto run around just to check.
I mean,
What's
you
gonna
can,
happen if they shrink?
everything shrinks with them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Uh-uh.
like, Soraya can make it so that there are like little holes or areas that you can put your pins into, and they'll look like part of the decoration.
That would be awesome. Yes.
All right, but you have to
Um,
start first, because otherwise you won't
okay.
get that.
Zaraya,
Okay.
can I have like, can we make sure that there's holes for wind so that there's no wind resistance? And maybe I can also put my hair through them?
Do you just want your hair? Do you want pins?
I want these things. And Dilly shakes their head and whips themselves with the crystals.
Oh, I can definitely help with that.
Okay, thank you. Motto.
Yeah.
I have like projects with everyone now. Okay, where are we right now with this?
So I kind of pull out from my bag like a little like. Do I have metalworking? I don't think I do. It's kind of right now. It's mostly wood based. It is very much like almost. I haven't decided if I want this thing to look like the Ocarina of Time slingshot or a super scope. And it's just a place where you can take that like dense kind of bound material that we had that you could put in, and then kind of go that way. I have a couple different design ideas, and I showed a little bit more of it because as I was surfing, I was like, maybe I can make this better. I don't know.
And by better, you mean they more torque?
Maybe, I don't know.
Will it throw them faster and harder?
That is the goal. We'll find out.
Okay.
At least we didn't start in the mouth.
Still small enclosed space,
Not
free.
I can, because we're in a house. Oh man, this is probably not the best place to test it though.
No, I wouldn't test it yet. I just wanted
Yeah.
to check in with
Yeah,
you.
it's being worked on right now. I kind of want to work on the and see if I can get that like shield glider thing actually going.
Mm.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that
There,
not what you're working on? This is like priority number one.
I know that's what I'm working on now.
it's fine, Adesh. Everything's fine.
What were you just doing?
Yeah, I think that the others are too jumpy for us to work on that right
no,
now.
that's not the
So
time
while
of
this
thing.
conversation
Work
is
on
going
what?
on, Tella returns and kind of brings you guys to his upper office, which they kind of lock you guys into his office, but part of his office has a very nice kind of decent-sized window in it as well. And the office
table.
itself is actually remarkably expansive. Like it's probably a good 20 by 20 foot room.
Is there a table?
Most definitely.
I'd like to go to the table, put stuff on it, and I just want to start working on things.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Motto quickly sketches out like an idea that maybe would work. And it's basically just like a standard shield with like some grips in case like he wants to like make it a glider. But they would just have like extra like wings and make it so it'd be more aerodynamic.
Fubari is watching just a little bit too closely over his shoulder.
Like every so often, you'll turn and instantly be Fubari.
This is kind of what I do I enjoy this part. You're welcome to watch.
Is this eventually going to have an anime moment where it's too close and they turn and kiss? Their noses brush.
Yeah, I was thinking more like you guys would just be like nose to nose for like a brief second, and you both kind of go away, and there's that little face blush of,
Yes.
oh.
Jax is just love and death.
Yes.
So
There's
I
no
would-
in between.
So
I
can
want to
I?
be clear, I appreciate them.
So can I make a roll to
Yes.
attempt to craft? So I can also use that teardrop I got rid of.
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll to craft. I was going to have you roll a wisdom to check to craft this, and if you want to use that,
I kind of
Uh,
have to because
yeah.
I'm not that max getting the Pokeball essentially maxed me out, so I have to use the effort enhancer. So I will
yeah.
apply
So this
level of
is-
effort to this.
This is not going to have a difficulty class. It's going to be the higher that you roll, the faster you're able to prototype this. And so what I'm going to use your level of effort, your free level of effort as, is we're just going to add 3 to whatever you roll.
You know what? That is entirely fair. I
Can
wish
Zaraya assist with this?
Absolutely. We'll
Okay.
add another 3 because Raya acts as an asset. So now
I
you have a plus
haven't-
6 to this roll.
I haven't rolled dice in like 8 weeks. Don't mess me up here, dice. Dang it.
What do we got? You have a plus 6 to it, so that's better than nothing, but
It is better than nothing. Unfortunately, I do not have a reroll to use. So that is unfortunate.
really quickly from Imp in my head for Motto, here's a reroll token.
Ah!
That dang it dramatic pause was just
There we go.
long enough.
Yeah.
So the first roll before that lovely reroll was a natural 4, which would have made it a 10. The reroll, I had an 18 on the die, 24.
Before. Okay, so over
Thank
the
you, Ann.
next,
You defeated
let's
power
say
level
the
8.
next 3 hours, you are able to successfully design a prototype that, after a little bit of testing, you've gotten to the point where you think the only step next you can take is to actively try to sky surf on this ship. Like, you've done all the prototyping, everything looks to kind of work, and there is a very large window in this office if you want to attempt to shield surf or sky surf that way. Or
You think they would probably like? I think that would probably not help our cause if I just opened the window and then full set a test of this.
Well, let's test it this way. Dilly, can you go small and hold the glider?
Well, it's definitely going to work because the weight distribution will be different. It'll throw all the calculations off.
No, it won't, because it shrinks with Dilly.
Oh, does
Oh
it?
yeah,
So Dilly can test it.
I hadn't
like that
thought
plan.
that, but
I like
theoretically,
that.
if
Okay.
you
Dilly.
equip it,
Hey Dilly, here.
Yeah. Do you want me to go small or do you want me to go small?
Well, if we go small, then at least we can see the distance that it can go, and we wouldn't need as much like a space, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't
Okay.
imagine we have much space in this room.
Do I need to be picked up and put on something tall when I go small?
Yes, we can help
Probably.
with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This also lets us be ready to catch them if it goes horribly, terribly wrong.
Yup.
Like follow
Okay.
behind them like this.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we can't do that.
Not
'cause
that I'm
that'll
saying it's going to
change
go
the-
wrong, Matto. I'm sure your engineering is superb, perfect.
Hey, we're gonna find out with this one.
We make an obstacle course, like as farther as they get in. There's like we start swinging paper to see how it goes with fan move or with air.
That's a great
currents
idea.
and-
Anyone got paper or like a book? I go to another desk and then there's like a book and I'm like,
I
great,
am only supposed to be that small for about a minute.
that's fine.
We
That's
can make that
fine.
work.
We're getting all of this ready.
Oh, you know
before
what?
go
I'm gonna
Okay.
take
Like,
a book
research.
and make it a little bit of a slope because now that I'm thinking about this, this design of this prototype has basically a place for your feet to lock into, Because if I do handhold to make it a paraglider, that's going to be too close to the actual thing. And I'm like, let's do something different. So it's going to be a glider that you wear on your feet. So it's going to have, we're going to make a little like, almost like a ski jump kind of thing.
Well, no, because we don't always have access to a ski jump. We typically have more access to a window. So ramps wouldn't be beneficial in this case.
To get momentum is what I'm sort of thinking.
Just a running
I
start.
understand that, but we
Running
don't
start.
always have momentum. Like in the
You know what?
ability
That's
to
fair.
jump out of this window.
You know, that's fair. I don't know how to really test this, so we're just going to make this work. All right.
Okay.
Takes the book back.
Basically, if you ever seen Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie,
Definitely
he has Tommy, the skydiving scene where Tommy has the little surfboard in the sky. That's kind of what I'm picturing.
Oh, can we?
I
Make,
was-
Mado, can you make a sort of spring? Because then we can use the spring to either propel ourselves forward or to go straight up.
Ooh. Yeah. Let me see if I can do that. Flips it
There
over.
100% is a Zonai
Research.
device that does that in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm replaying Tears of the Kingdom right now.
I haven't
Yeah.
touched it in like a
I
year,
am too.
probably. Motto
It's
looks at the
upsetting how good that game is.
Motto
Like,
flips
it's just
it.
fun.
Motto flips it around, and it finds like a couple of places in part of the wing, part in the center, in part of the other side of the wing, where he can like carve out little like squares, and then takes like a piece of wire and like coils it to be a thing, a little thing, like to be springs, and kind of like takes a little like pocket knife, puts a little line in, takes it out, puts the wiring in, and like puts it to basically a switch on the back on the board, so it can just be a step,
Okay.
and
I
then
will
it'll
say, with this particular design, the spring thing is effectively a one and done thing because you'll have to stop and manually rewind the springs in order to be able to do it again. Does that make sense?
right, but the button would be to deploy them.
Yep, you can deploy them. I'm just saying that once you spring once, you will have to literally take the shield off and rewind the springs if you want to be able to spring again. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean
cool.
it's a prototype, so
Yeah.
As you get to the top, you do have to do like a shield flip in order to get it
Yeah.
going the right way.
so you kind of need to like backflip into where you're going.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
I
like, I haven't
100%
figured out how to do.
attached one of those Zonai springs to a shield and then shield surf, and as long as the spring is down, as soon as you hit the ground, you just launch into the air, and it's
Yep.
so much fun.
Yep. So, but you do have to set the springs at an angle. That way, it gives us that slightly forward momentum instead of just straight up.
I think I used one of
Yeah.
those spring shields to fight the final boss one.
I take extra notes about that
possible.
for version 2. This is
So
like
what I need from Dilly, I need
Yeah.
them to make me a wisdom defense roll
Is this before or after I shrink?
after you shrink.
is there a way
Great.
to assist?
No,
Okay.
Well,
they are very small, and the wisdom defense roll is effectively them trying to stay on the shield. Because while you are a master shield surfer, Dilly, this will be your first time shield surfing.
I mean, without being pulled, because I did that before.
Well, the first time air shield surfing. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way.
So
You
the
have
reason
been
I
in the air before. You have never used a shield to stay in the air.
Do you want
The
to
reason I
This,
asked,
I would probably create like a harness or something.
no, don't worry, because this is a wisdom roll, and by shrinking to a small, I got +7 to my wisdom pool. So,
And it
what's
all
the-
goes away once she goes back big. So,
Them.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
But
It's
also
okay.
help for a prototype for those of us who aren't very acrobatic.
Yeah. So, what's the difficulty on this?
We're gonna call it just a difficulty 3 because again, with your background, you have done things in the air before. This is just a little bit different
Okay.
having that. So if you want to
Oh.
use both levels of effort, you can currently use. That'll bring it down to difficulty 1.
1 second.
Okay.
Uh, wisdom defense rolls are eased.
Okay.
So does that
So
mean it's just naturally difficulty 2 then?
Technically, yeah. So if you use in the cipher system, if you use enough effort to get it below difficulty 1, it's just considered an auto success, and you don't roll.
All right, but difficulty 2 sounds fun.
Okay.
Let's find out what happens. 16.
Yeah. So you guys watch as Dilly gets up onto the table, and then you watch as they shrink down to pretty small size, and then they get a bit of a running start. They put the shield down, they click the button. You watch them get launched, which to them seems like they're like 10, 15 feet in the air. You guys watch them go up like an inch and a half, and then they hit the shield, and it glides really well.
Though I would say that they're all squinting because also I have the beneath notice that makes it difficult to see me when I'm shrunk.
So, wait a minute. Oh, there they are. Oh, wait a minute. There.
Motto is like staring and focusing as hard as you possibly can. The brain cells are like rubbing so quickly, so he can
two brain
watch.
cells.
And his 2 brain cells are like whirring of the I need to see if this works, and it looks like it's working. Wait, cool.
You also just hear a really like small high pitch.
Like watching a flea circus.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So.
Dilly, can you do that again? But instead of getting a running start, just go straight up. Do it without the movement.
But I have to rewind these springs now, don't I?
Well, I think Motto could rewind them.
They're this small.
So we're going to say all of the testing that you guys do is as successful as it can be. Motto, you do get a few ideas after seeing it of things that you should probably improve on your next design.
I need to figure out a way how to rewire the springs without having to do it manually. That's going to be something I have to look at.
But as of right now, you have a sky surfing shield that you can add to your collections of shields.
Yes!
Unfortunately, that is where we are going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of the episode, we do have all of the episodes right here on the Twitch channels, twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. You can watch the entire series right here. Just go to the video section and look for the playlist labeled Tears of the Kingdom, or Tears of the Realms. Otherwise, that is going to be all for us today, and we will see you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Oh god, where's the button? Where is it? Okay.
Ah!